Okay, so we start the class now. In the last class, we were discussing about the types of fits, clearance fit, interference fit, and the transition fit, right? So let's try to understand them more. Uh, I'll show you a video to start with. Let's start with the video. Just a second, yeah. So, okay, I'll share this one.
Clearance fade. In this video, we are going to see about clearance fade. The clearance fade for the boss is regarded as a shaft 30 mm hole. A hole is defined as the member which houses or fits the shaft. It may be stationary or rotating.
So you can see here that there is this black line which is evident between the hole and the shaft. It is indicating sort of a clearance. Okay. And where do you think we would want a clearance fit? In real life, where do you think we would want a clearance fit? Yes, anyone? Anshuman?
Yes, sir.
Where do we want
So
a
in like cylinder, piston arrangement
okay,
in automobile sector.
yeah, right. So piston and cylinder, we want a clearance fit.
Afternoon,
Anyone?
sir.
Yeah. Where else?
The soft rotating in a bush.
Hmm. I couldn't get
Soft
you.
rotation in a bush.
So we can say one bottom line of this would be that we want a clearance fit where there is a requirement of a relative movement between the parts, and no force should be required to do this assembly. Or under the force of gravity itself, this assembly should be accomplished, right?
So why no force should be required?
So because clearance fit, you want the requirement of the assembly in clearance fit is that you want an easy disassembly, or you want a relative movement between the parts. Okay. So under the force of gravity, I mean, force of gravity should be good enough to do the assembly. And should not have to like push it hard, or even give a little push to that.
बट
Then
सर जो
only,
जनरल
yeah.
एप्लीकेशंस होंगे उनमें तो फोर्सेस अप्लाई होंगे ना, तभी तो रिलेटिव मोशन होगा.
No, not that force. Like if you have to do the assembly, it's to do the assembly, the force should not be required.
ओके सर.
Okay.
A positive clearance exists between the hole and the shaft. It is obtained by selecting the maximum and minimum limits of the shaft and the hole. Interference fit. In this video, we are going to see about interference fit. Consider a poles pressing machine. Hub. Pressure gauge. A fit between two parts in which the external dimension of one part slightly exceeds the internal dimension of the part into which it has to fit. Fastening between two parts, which is achieved by friction after the parts are pushed together, rather than by any other means of fastening. The hole diameter is smaller than the bolt diameter. It is an interference.
Now, how is that possible? hole diameter is smaller than the bolt diameter. Getting it? So how is this possible, and how is it achieved, and why would we want to do that? These are the questions for interference fit, and where do you see it in your day-to-day life? I'll give you an example. You see interference fit easily in railway wagons. You see the railway wagon assembly, the wheels of the railway wagon, they are not screwed on the shaft. They are actually uh, heated. The wheels are heated so that the diameter, so that you can push the wheel on the shaft, and then once it cools down, it grips the shaft, and then it doesn't come out. So if you have to break the assembly, then you really have to push you'll have to apply the force. And in case if you have to uh, do the assembly, even then the force is required. Okay, and you can also see that in the as shown over here.
The hole diameter is smaller than the bolt diameter. It is an interference fit. Is smaller than the bolt diameter. It is an interference fit. Transition fit. In this
Yeah, sorry, there was a. So you can
we are going to
see
see about transition
now the
fit.
third type is the transition fit.
Hole, shaft, hammer. For example, by hammering, insert the shaft into the hole and fix it. When the dimension of the hole and the shaft such that there exists a positive clearance when the shaft is fitted into the hole is known as transition fit.
Now let's see them in detail. Any doubts in this till now? Now, am I audible?
सर you're audible but एक और presentation आ रही है आपकी.
Okay, stop. Okay, so you may go to that presentation now because I'm switching onto the manual writing mode. Okay.
सर आप एक बार फिर से शेयर कर देंगे क्या स्क्रीन,
Okay.
क्योंकि वो फिर रिकॉर्डिंग में हट जाता है ये वरना. थैंक यू सर.
So now there are three examples which we have discussed. For the clearance fit in our day-to-day life, we can see piston and cylinder assembly. Piston and cylinder assembly. For the interference fit, as I've told you, railway wagon wheel. Wheel assembly. And in the transition fit, as you can see that there was the example which was being given, that at times it is interference, at times it can be clearance. Okay, so like you are inserting a shaft in a hole where sometimes a pressure is required, sometimes the pressure is not required. So with little ease, it can be disassembled without destroying the assembly. In interference fit, if you have to disassemble, you'll have to destroy the assembly. It is meant for it is meant permanently. If you are doing an going for an interference fit, you are doing that for mostly permanent purpose. But in the transition fit, you want a close fit, but at the same time you also want an easy disassembly with little bit of force, and where the assembly does not get destroyed. Like in a pen, you have what type of fit would you say if you got a pen in which the cap has to be taken off and taken in again? You can try that. All of you must be having a pen right now where you can take off the cap and then put it back again and it doesn't fall off. So what would you call that kind of fit?
Sir, transition fit.
Yeah, exactly. Why transition fit? Why transition fit?
Sir, because we can disassemble it easily.
Yeah, you can. And all the lids which you have on the boxes, most of them, or the whole purpose of transition fit is to achieve that kind of fit where a bit of force is required to disassemble or take it off. Like there are lids, right, where you put them on and take them off, but little bit of force is required. Okay, so there you see the transition fit. Now all of you write one example each of transition fit and clearance fit and the interference fit, which you see in your day-to-day life. I mean, write it in the chat box. Then I'll ask a question. What would you call that? Write it in the chat box. Give one example from your day-to-day life. Clearance fit, interference fit, and the transition fit. None of you are giving. Sagar is saying clearance fit door hinge. Yeah, right. Door hinge, mobile cover taken off and put it back. So Shailesh, what would you call this? Mobile cover taken off and put it back.
So transition fit.
Yeah, right. Adapter and charger lead. Very good, Abhinandan. I was about to ask this question, that if you have an adapter, like in the switches, plug in, you got a plug. So in the socket you are going to put it. So what kind of fit do you achieve is the transition fit in that. Yes, more people can write. Only 4 people have given some examples. You can see around yourself, there are fits everywhere. Around the room in which you are sitting, you will find fits everywhere. What would you call the fit which is having screws? Yeah, Virendra Singh, electric plug, that's what I was talking about. You got a socket and a plug. So rivet joint is an interference fit. Very good example. Riveting is an interference fit because you'll have to destroy, and it is sealed. I mean, you can see on the aircraft there is riveting. You can see on the ships there is riveting. So riveting gives you a sort of waterproof ceiling because there is no gap left in the mating joints. Okay, bike shock absorber. So that is a clearance fit, Manya?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Screw is clearance fit. Now, see, if we look at, if we consider their outer and inner boundaries, we can clearly say that that's an interference fit. Vineet, do you agree?
But sir, we do not need to break that to disassemble that, right?
That's the only. So it is a thumb rule. It is not a kind of a theorem, or it's not a fundamental law that you have to break the assembly to have an interference fit. If there is a screwing involved, then you have to, I mean, you can still say it is an interference fit. I mean, if you have to take it off without unscrewing it, then, so Virender Singh is saying, okay, so yeah, it's a clearance fit, right?
सर सो जैसे अगर स्क्रू नहीं होगा क्लियरेंस फिट में तो जो बॉटल की कैप्स होती हैं
हाँ
हमें
हाँ,
वो भी नहीं आएगा क्लियरेंस में.
नहीं, बॉटल कैप्स तो इंटरफेरेंस फिट हुई ना, आप देखिए, तभी तो वो वहां पे इंटैक्ट है. बॉटल कैप्स जो आप कोल्ड ड्रिंक की बॉटल बोल रहे हैं, राइट?
यस सर.
Yeah. Okay. So enough talk on that. I think it is clear that
Sir.
yeah.
सर एक बार क्लियरेंस और ट्रांजिशन फिट के बीच में डिफरेंस बताइए ना वापस.
ट्रांजिशन फिट में अभी हम डायग्रामेटिकली समझेंगे इसको. ओके, सो लेट्स डू इट डायग्रामेटिकली नाउ. So let's say this is your hole, and this is the tolerance zone of the hole. Now, if it is a clearance fit, what should be the condition to achieve a clearance fit? Can anyone tell? Like, let's say this is the hole and this is the shaft. On this shaft, we are going to apply the tolerance. Okay. So what should be the condition on the tolerance of the, this is hole, I'm going to write hole over here, and this is the shaft. So what should be the condition on shaft? What should be the condition on the tolerance zone of the shaft with respect to hole? Then you can achieve the clearance fit. For clearance fit, if I have to design it.
So either machining the shaft or turning the shaft or boring the hole.
No, we are not, we are assembling. They are already made. There is no machining going on. This is a hole. And
Sir, shaft is,
yeah.
sir, shaft should be free to move in hole.
Yeah. So what is the condition with respect to
Shaft diameter should be less than hole diameter.
Yes, sir.
let's talk about minimum and maximum shaft diameter and maximum and minimum hole diameter. Okay, so if I have to achieve a clearance fit, what condition can I say on that? On the tolerance of the hole, on the
maximum diameter of shaft should be less than minimum diameter of hole.
Okay, maximum diameter of shaft. That is, this is the maximum diameter of shaft, let's say. Okay, so similarly, you try to make a figure for all the three. I'll give you 5 minutes. See, my idea of telling you this is that if I have to design a clearance fit, so your maximum diameter of shaft, that is this one, should be less than minimum diameter of the hole. Okay, maximum diameter of shaft. So this is your max shaft dia, and this is your minimum hole diameter. Okay. So your maximum shaft diameter should be less than minimum hole diameter, and anything else? I think this is the primary condition to achieve a clearance fit, or not? Yeah, any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. So similarly, we can also say what is the minimum clearance and maximum clearance. So when would you achieve the minimum clearance? In what condition do you achieve the minimum clearance?
So जब exactly equal हो.
See, maximum clearance I achieve, I use a different pen now. So maximum, this red lines are indicating maximum clearance. Maximum clearance. Okay, and minimum clearance is indicated by this one. This is your minimum clearance. So when do you get a minimum clearance? When the difference between minimum hole diameter and maximum shaft diameter will give me the minimum clearance. And maximum clearance, when do I get? When when I have the maximum diameter of hole and minimum diameter of shaft. That time I get the maximum clearance. Is it clear? Okay, so this is the clearance fit. So similarly, can you define the tolerance zone of shaft with respect to hole for interference fit? Can you make a figure, all of you? Similar to this one. So if let's say this is the hole, this is the hole tolerance, and this is your shaft, let's say. So if we have to see the interference, that means at any point of time, or for any set of dimension or any combination of dimensions, our our shaft should never go inside the hole without pressure. Okay, so I'm making an exaggerated figure over here anyway. So getting it? So here, even the smallest size of the shaft will not be able to go in the largest size of the hole. Okay, so smallest shaft should not enter largest hole. This is the condition. So this is the tolerance on shaft, and this is your tolerance on hole. Okay. So what is the maximum interference? When do I get the maximum interference? So this is your hole over here, and this is the shaft. So maximum interference means maximum metal is coinciding with each other. That means smallest hole and the largest shaft. Okay, so this is going to give me the maximum interference. Maximum interference. And minimum interference when the largest hole and smallest shaft. This is your minimum interference. You should all be able to calculate it. If I give you a hole and a shaft dimension with their tolerance limit, their limits, you should be able to find out maximum interference, maximum clearance, minimum clearance. So in this case, it will all be negative. All the time, this is going to be negative because the shaft size is larger than hole. Okay. So the minimum permissible diameter of shaft exceeds the maximum allowable diameter of hole. Okay. It's sort of a tight fit.
Sir,
And
what do you mean by maximum interference? Like in practical approach, what does it mean?
it means that if you can imagine a hole and a shaft, so maximum how much amount of their metal will overlap. It's sort of a overlap. So interference you can understand as an overlap between the mating parts. Is it clear? Am I clear? Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir, but that will happen when the maximum interference, that gap will be 0. Then it will enter the hole.
See, what I have shown over here is a very exaggerated figure. It's not like कि आपकी hole का diameter 60 है and आपकी shaft का diameter 65 हो जाएगा, and 65 mm if we say, or okay, so it goes in microns. ये जो tolerance zones होती हैं microns में होती हैं. Getting it? ऐसा नहीं है कि बहुत बड़ी shaft को आप बहुत छोटे से hole में you will be able to fit it by breaking or doing whatever. It's not like that. When we'll be doing calculations, you will find that the tolerances are very small, and the dimensions are going into 4 decimal places, 5 decimal places, like that. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the challenge is, how do I make the transition fit? Can anyone try to make it? How would you sketch a transition fit, just like the clearance and the interference fit? Try to make it. Yeah, make a sketch and send it in the group. Let me see how many of you are actually participating.
Sir, it will be in between the clearance fit and interference fit, I think.
Make it and send.
सर हमें उसमें जैसे इसमें मिनिमम और मैक्सिमम क्लियरेंस दिखाया था वैसे दिखाना है या फिर सिर्फ एक टाइप का? ट्रांजिशन फिट में। सर
हाँ हाँ बताओ।
ट्रांजिशन फिट में हमें सिर्फ एक टाइप का बनाना है कि किस टाइप से दिखता है वो, या फिर मिनिमम एंड मैक्सिमम जैसे हम
एक
लोग
बार बनाओ,
clearance-
एक बार जो भी लगता है ना बना के भेजो, सही और गलत नहीं देख रहा हूँ। आई एम जस्ट सीइंग के हाउ मच आर यू ग्रास्पिंग इट। ओके, जस्ट सेंड इट आफ्टर मेकिंग। So let me see. Many of you are sending. Yatharth looks a bit fine. Chitrang fine. Yeah. Risha also. Many of you have already got it correct. So yeah, I think we are on the right track. So let me just make it on my own now. Let's say this is the tolerance on hole, and the corresponding tolerance on shaft would be somewhat like this. So what you may achieve over here is that at times hole may be bigger slightly than the shaft, so then you'll get clearance fit. So during manufacturing, this is what's happening. So the dimensions may vary up and down, and sometimes your shaft diameter may be larger than the size of the hole, so you may get an interference fit. So their tolerance zones are pretty much intersecting with each other by a larger extent. Okay, we won't say they are exactly same, but they have common tolerance zones. They have some material common in the this tolerance zones. So we can say one thing about transition fit is that the diameter of the largest permissible hole that is this diameter, is greater than the diameter of the smallest shaft. Okay, so this is the smallest shaft. So obviously the diameter should be, then you get a clearance fit. And the diameter of the smallest hole, that is this one, diameter of the smallest hole is smaller than the diameter of the largest shaft. So this is your largest shaft. So then you get the interference fit. Okay, so here we get this overlap. Okay, now let's come to some terminology. Slowly we are moving towards the
थोड़ी
calculation.
repeat once जो आपने भी बोला था ना, एक बार आप
Yeah.
कर दोगे सर?
It's there in the slides also, so you may not worry about, but I'll write that. I'll say that again. The diameter of the largest permissible hole is greater than the diameter of the smallest shaft. It will give you the clearance fit. And the diameter of the smallest hole is smaller than the diameter of the largest shaft. Okay, so then you get the interference
sir?
fit. Yeah.
Sir, in the actual case, the shaft is either going to be a larger diameter or of the smaller diameter than the hole. So in every condition,
see,
there will either be the clearance or will be the interference. So what is new about this transition?
Because it with this kind of assembly means it will help you in getting an assembly where the tolerance is very close. I mean, it will not be, there'll not be an gap where you can fill the liquid, but you can fill the air between that gap. Are you getting? I mean, the gap, I mean, this will get even more clear when we'll start doing calculations and designing the go and no go gauges. Then you will understand that what kind of dimensional difference is there in the transition fit. If right now it looks like a bit exaggerated that sometimes movement will be there, sometimes movement will not be there, but you can always imagine a pen cap and a pen body going into that. I mean, you're assembling a pen and a cap. So you slightly, you'll always have to apply a bit of a pressure to assemble it and take it off again. So what you're saying is new. See, we are not saying it's anything new, but in clearance fit, it always slides. In interference fit, it never slides. While in transition fit, it will slide with bit of force. The applications are varied, no? I mean, if you do interference fit for a pen and a cap, then you eventually will have to break the pen to write something, right? Or you have to like put a screw and then make threads on that. I mean, you have those kind of pens also, right? So then in that case, it's an interference fit. If you are having threads on the body and then you are screwing and unscrewing it, then it's an interference fit. So it all depends on the application what we are talking, what you want to talk about. Then we talk about allowance. There's a term called allowance. So allowance is the difference between the maximum material limits. Difference between maximum material limits. Maximum material limits. Like maximum metal conditions are there, no? So for what is the maximum material limit for a hole? Lowest limit of hole, LLH, is the maximum material limit for hole. And similarly, what is the maximum material limit for a shaft? Highest limit of shaft. So LLH and HLS. So these are your maximum material limits. Okay. So allowance would be the difference of the two, which is allowance is equal to LLH minus HLS. Now, here in this case, if allowance is positive, what will you say about the kind of fit? Yes, if allowance is positive, lowest limit of hole is greater than the highest limit of shaft. What would you say about the kind of fit?
Clearance fit.
Yeah, right. That will be clearance fit. If it is negative, if allowance is negative, what does that mean?
Interference.
Interference fit. And what would you say about transition? It's not
Nearly zero.
enough. I mean, allowance is not enough to say anything about the fit. We will see how later. So for now, it looks like if it is positive, it is clearance. If it is negative, it is interference. But what about transition? So we take a problem later and then we understand, is allowance good enough to say anything about the kind of fit? We will see that. So there is a term called hole basis system and shaft basis system. Hole basis system and shaft basis system. So let me show you a video to understand these terms.
एक चीज कभी कभी इमेज बिगाड़ सकती है.
Hole basis system. In this video, we are going to see about hole basis system. The different types of fits are obtained by associating shafts of varying limit dimensions with a single hole whose lower deviation is 0.
So let's now understand the meaning of deviation before we go ahead and do this hole basis and shaft basis. So in order to understand deviation, I'll also share this part of the screen. So deviation is a first term which we should be understanding before we go to hole and the shaft basis. So deviation. Yeah. Deviation. So deviation is the algebraic difference between a size and its corresponding basic size. Okay, so it may be positive, negative, or 0. So between its size and the corresponding basic size means the actual size of which you have made it, and what was the base. Like I made a shaft of 5.5 centimeter and my basic size is 5 centimeter. Basic means I wanted to make of 5 centimeter, but I got a shaft of 5.5 centimeter. Okay, so that is the deviation over here is 0.5. Okay, I got larger than what I wanted. So it could be positive, negative, or 0. So there's a term upper deviation. Upper deviation. So upper deviation is algebraic difference between the maximum limit of size and the corresponding basic size. Maximum limit of size and basic size. So let's say the maximum limit is 5.5 and the basic size is 5. So 0.5 is the upper deviation. Similarly for hole, what it will be, maximum limit, I mean, this is, you can say it for shaft. For hole, again, if you're trying to make a hole of 5 centimeter, but you end up making a hole of 5.5 centimeter. So are you getting it? So then again, it will be 0.5, but one corresponds to the maximum metal condition, one other corresponds to the minimum metal condition. In hole, it corresponds, 0.5 corresponds to a minimum metal condition. But in terms of shaft, it corresponds to a maximum metal condition.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what do you mean by maximum limit of size? Is it basic size plus positive tolerance?
Yeah, right now for a hole, for a shaft, you can say that maximum size, the basic size plus you can say the whatever is the tolerance. So include the tolerance in the basic size and that will give you the maximum size.
Then sir, upper deviation is tolerance only.
At times you can say that, but don't generalize it right now because आपने उसके अलग-अलग cases नहीं देखे हैं अभी. So don't I could have also said it tolerance, but अभी मत बोलिए आप.
सर अगर पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव दोनों में है टॉलरेंस, मतलब अगर वन यूनिलैटरल टॉलरेंस की जगह बायलैटरल टॉलरेंस हुआ तो अलग हो जाएगा ना वो फिर.
एग्जैक्टली, मैंने इसीलिए बोला वो आपने सारे केसेस अभी देखे नहीं है, तो अभी आप यूनिलेटरली हम एक ही साइड सोच रहे हैं कि टॉलरेंस आप एक ही साइड है बेसिक साइज के, बट बेसिक साइज के दोनों तरफ हो सकती है ना, बायलैटरल टॉलरेंस भी तो हो सकती है. तो आपकी देन इट्स नॉट लाइक कि आप बेसिक साइज में टॉलरेंस ऐड कर रहे हैं. समझ रहे हैं?
इस केस में भी रहेगी तो पॉजिटिव साइड की जो टॉलरेंस है वही अपर डेविएशन.
आप देख ही लेते हैं करके, है ना. ये 5 सेंटीमीटर है, बेसिक साइज है, ठीक है. ये 5 सेंटीमीटर बेसिक साइज है. नाउ केस 1 यूनिलेटरल टॉलरेंस, तो ये मान लीजिए 5 है एंड ये 5.5 है, आपकी टॉलरेंस जोन है 0.5 की. नाउ लेट्स से ये डिवाइड हो जाती है हाफ में, द केस 2. So if it is getting divided into half, now what will happen is slightly above and slightly below. Okay, so now as you were saying कि टॉलरेंस ही तो ऐड कर रहे हैं हम, आपने यही तो बोला था कि टॉलरेंस ही मैक्सिमम लिमिट इज बेसिक साइज प्लस टॉलरेंस साइज, व्हाट यू सेड, राइट? आपने यही बोला था.
टॉलरेंस ऑन पॉजिटिव साइड,
वो बाद में करेक्ट किया आपने. So this is 2.5 here and 2.5 below. So then in that case it will be 5.25, right? Like that. It's 0.25 over here, 0.25 below. So then you can say that. So इसको इतना हम define क्यों करें on the positive side and all? इसके ये इसीलिए हम basic ground definition बता देते हैं. Algebraic difference between the maximum limit of size and its corresponding basic size. इतना ही है. अब उसके अंदर आप पॉजिटिव साइड आप अपने हिसाब से डेफिनेशन बना सकते हैं, नो डाउट, नो प्रॉब्लम इन दैट, बट दिस सीम्स टू ए मोर जेनरिक वन. ठीक है. सिमिलरली लोअर डिविएशन इज द algebraic difference between the minimum limit of size and its corresponding basic size. Okay, this is your lower deviation. And then do you have fundamental deviation? This term is the most important term, fundamental deviation. It is the minimum difference between size of a component and its basic size. So it could be upper deviation, it could be lower deviation. Okay. So let me write that. fundamental deviation, will from now on we will refer to it as FD, fundamental deviation. So it is the minimum difference between the size of component and its basic size. So for a shaft, what will be fundamental deviation? My question is, for a shaft, what will be fundamental deviation? मैं थोड़ा छोटा कर देता हूँ इसको. Yeah. Now you can see the complete screen. What is for a shaft, what is fundamental deviation, and for a hole, what is fundamental deviation? Yes. So if I say for a shaft, upper deviation is the fundamental deviation.
So minimum difference between size कैसे देखेंगे? उसके लिए तो हमें पता होना चाहिए ना कि अपर की वैल्यू छोटी है या फिर लोअर की.
सर जीरो नहीं हो जाएगा क्योंकि एक लिमिट ऐसी रहेगी जहाँ पे दोनों इक्वल रहेंगे. मिनिमम निकालना है.
सोचिए, think about it. So I leave the question on to you.
सर शाफ्ट के लिए लोअर लिमिट, क्योंकि मिनिमम इतना तो रिक्वायर्ड है ही है, उससे कम हो गया तो उससे ज्यादा हो गया प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है.
नहीं, so what shaft के लिए what will be the, I mean fundamental deviation, and for hole what will be the fundamental deviation? इसका आंसर ये है, इन ऑप्शंस में से होगा upper deviation and lower deviation. Okay, so hole के लिए upper deviation और lower deviation is the fundamental deviation is FD question, or upper which of this upper deviation or lower deviation is the fundamental deviation for hole, and similarly for shaft. The question is here कि fundamental deviation जो है होल के लिए अपर डिविएशन होता है या लोअर डिविएशन होता है. सिमिलरली शाफ्ट के लिए अपर डिविएशन होता है या लोअर डिविएशन होता है फंडामेंटल डिविएशन. इन दोनों में से एक होगा दोनों का. शाफ्ट के लिए हो सकता है अपर डिविएशन हो सकता है लोअर डिविएशन हो, बट फिर एक्सक्लूसिव हो जाएगा वो फंडामेंटल डिविएशन जो होल का होगा वो शाफ्ट का नहीं होगा. राइट. सो how would you say that minimum difference between the size of component and its basic size is the fundamental deviation? Okay, so we will start our discussion from here only. So you digest it, whatever we have talked about today, and we'll start from here tomorrow. Right? Tomorrow we have a class from 11 to 12.
So should we mark our attendance now?
Yeah, mark your attendance, please, all of you.